Where's the camera?
This is a test of... there we go. Microphones work. Right. Wow.
Okay, how do I turn off the music in here?
You turn down your world volumes, I guess. Small oversight. I actually don't need you guys right now. Okay, there we go. Hello guys, welcome back to the very last episode in this D&D campaign. Responsibilities coming about, it looks like we're gonna have to take a long while off. I don't know if we'll ever be back, or if we'll, be back like next year or something, I don't know. But, yeah. This is it. The last one there's gonna be. Last time we left off, your child showed up in a spaceship shortly after you were nearly murdered by a pack of ravenous, mindless creatures, and then subsequently liquefied at the very thought of a certain dwarven drum beat. We found out that Withering here has the code name Basalt and is a part of some sort of syndicate of some sort that is set against the government, the Interstellar Federation. And
Seems about right, yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything you wanted to do? Just to kick off this episode, anything you want to talk to your family about? Anything you want to discuss? You were told tales of a certain individual that captained a ship somewhere in the deep near the nebula of badness. Yes, young student.
They said that they were tracking the ship, right?
That ship, it's a legend, it's a myth, it's hard to track.
I thought she was trying to follow that legend.
She was trying to,
Sky's
but
the one who's in the ship.
It's like trying to find Bigfoot, which some of us may have some knowledge, experience in.
I think he shops at Walmart.
Dex makes a lot. Did you want to try to aid in this endeavor?
Sure. Should
Well,
I do any dice rolling?
if you like, yeah. You can. Nope. Grab the D20. Roll me investigation check. It's a black one.
I know. I'm just trying to get over to it.
Also, if you guys ever want more dice, there's a button over there to spawn dice. They're identical in every way.
16.
Okay. With your intelligence being what it is, and I mean, you can't find their exact location. Okay, we'll just wait for it to come back.
Sorry, I was trying to see if more dice would appear.
You should just go over here. Click.
Oh.
1 sec, I got TBI.
Tuberculosis. Anyways,
Critical fail.
yeah, you can't find his exact location, but you're starting to pick up on communications that may indicate that they're at some point in space near a few star systems. In particular, last you saw them, they were at a star system that got raided not too long ago. It was quickly zooming off in a direction that could be the direction you're at. It's very hard to get information about this. You're looking...
What if I were to investigate where the bad guys are? Because he's going to be going after the bad guys. So if I look for the bad guys, then I can find him because he's going to be wanting to liquefy them.
Possibly, yeah.
Can I do an investigation check on that?
No, hold on. I have to do a meditatey. Let's bring you up. Don't be on the screen, please. Let's see. Be on the screen, please.
Can you hold on to the dice just in case?
Take a moment to breathe in and out. We are meditating. Ah. Come on. There we go. So, no, okay. You don't need to roll to find out where they are. The Tih'tulkd hang out in the Tih'tulkd Nebula. You could head there and start trying to figure it out, or you could try to find a local star system that might be under attack if you want it.
I'll head over there. That sounds good.
Okay. Looking at the star map, it's actually quite far. But you have someone with a warship at the disposal. And warships are a higher class of a ship than the keelboat, so they'd be able to travel faster. You could ask your daughter, pretty please, to take you there.
Okay. Should I bring some of my crew?
If you want to, you could bring your crew and leave your thing here, but you could also just dock your ship with their ship.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm gonna call her and ask her if she could take us there and see about finding the dwarf.
Okay. You call back up and you talk to her about this, and she actually about your friend, the tiefling. Well, the local government has asked you to hand her over.
What?
it seems when you ran to the, because she has a warrant out for her arrest. Well, her execution. But it seems when you ran her fingerprints, it triggered the database. So,
We're gonna need you to get rid of your fingerprints. I'll get the acid.
Okay. Sweet. You gonna burn them off then? Melt them off? We could also try freezing them and then shattering them off. Like just stick my hands out in space.
interesting
Or we chop off the
ideals.
tips of your fingers.
Robot
Yeah.
hands.
Oh, I can make you robot hands. I'm good at that. Have you ever wanted to be able to
What about,
strangle
like-
somebody quite easily?
What about like
Break their
retina
neck?
scanners and stuff though?
They might have that. It's reasonable. Just put you in a giant mech suit, say you're a robot.
Yeah, we could just
We
like
just,
I have a
just
disguise
slowly
ability.
replace you with a robot.
At some
I
point-
disguise you as
ability,
a
though.
robot.
So anyways, all ISF sort of officials are not in a point in which they can operate within the star system at the moment. So they're sending a ship over that should be here within 2 to 3 hours to pick up basalt or withering.
I'm gonna ask Incondant and Cat Person
Mhm.
if they have any ideas on disguising, because they seem to be pretty smart.
Yeah, I'll make them roll for that. Yeah. Let me pick up the dice.
I mean, that one character disguised herself as a shoe. If she can disguise herself as a shoe, then she could easily disguise withering as something that's not a shoe, unless you want to be a shoe.
I'm very much not wanting to be a shoe. I do have an ability where I could disguise myself though.
Okay.
What do you want to disguise yourself as?
I don't know, I'm just trying to find the ability information right now.
Do you have it as an ability or a spell? Okay. 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 And Cadet comes on and sort of picks up a few things, like super glues a bit of a gear to her forehead and maybe like a button. It's not convincing at all. It's pretty trash. But Brookhouse comes along and after a few minutes, what feels like way less time than it should take, you're rather convinced that Withering is a mechanical creature of a sort, and not a tiefling.
What do you think?
I'm thinking I have an ability called Disguise Self. I just wanted to take a look at it.
That's a spell. It's a first level spell
I
slot.
got robot
See-
outfit now.
The only
Like
thing I'm
Samus?
wondering is if a spell could be easily removed, but if we do a non-disguise spell, they can't remove it using magic.
That's very true, as well as the fact that Disguise Self is a first level spell that lasts 1 hour. So unless you...
Samus it is.
But there are certain classes and things that do have situations where you can like disguise yourself all day. Like if you were a warlock, you could just disguise yourself every hour on the hour, which is amazing. But warlocks have other things too. But yeah, you are convincingly a robot, and
those husky sacrifices.
yeah, really miss those NPCs. And you dock with the warship. Fishboy really suggests that we get out of here quickly. We only have like 2.5 hours now.
Alright, let's leave quickly.
Okay.
Beep beep, vroom vroom. Oh wait, this is space. Sometimes
I'm just imagining Liz at the beep beep
Very
vroom vroom.
fancy vacuum
Engine just
cleaner.
go. Yes. What?
I'm just gonna pretend I'm a
Oh.
chobit.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh. It's fine, old anime, don't worry about it.
Old.
Do not look it up.
Okay. Man, these are not being held as they're supposed to be held. What is this? But yeah.
That's supposed to be a bat lift?
No. It's a different thing. It's like if a batleth was cut in half.
I know that. That's a sigh.
That's not actually a sigh, but kind of, I guess.
That's a sigh.
Anyways,
Sighs are illegal in Canada, but bat lifts are legal.
sighs are illegal in okay. Throwing stars are illegal in my state, so you know. But you can make your own shotgun.
Yeah, I was about to say, what? Wait a minute.
Legitimately.
Guns, though? Why do you need throwing stars?
You want throwing stars? They look cool. You go to jail, but you make a shotgun out of plumbing parts, and you're okay as long as you don't, sell it. Anyways, the course of several hours, it doesn't take you too long to get
Gun
there.
looks like a throwing star.
If it has more than one point, and it can be thrown.
That's that tiny, man. Like a Derringer, or I guess you could do that with a Derringer.
Just really big throwing
star.
star.
Good for one shot. You shoot them and then you throw the mofo.
Isn't there like a little pen gun where it's like a pen, but it's also a gun?
Yeah,
Probably.
it's a type of Derringer. Derringers are cool.
It takes you, of course, several hours to get to your location. You're driving a great deal of distance in a small amount of time. Yay for warships. You're now technically fugitives, as you are running from the local government. No one seems to mind on the ship, on the warship, or your guys' ship. Well, Salden's a little interested in the reward money, but,
Hey, can I do some tinkering while we are on the way there?
Definitely. Where are you going to tinker?
I was gonna make a couple extra of those blasting guns, just in case we run into the enemy.
Okay. Roll me a tinkering check.
Okay. That's a D20, right?
Yeah.
Natural 20.
You get 2 guns. They go pew pew. Maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a natural 20, so what do you mean maybe?
Yeah, they might do that. They might do something else. You don't quite know. They do go pew pew though. Yeah, but you finish the first one up halfway through, and you finish the second one up around when you get there. You exit the gravitational wave field and dumped out into darkness of space, only it's not dark where you are. There's a giant cloud of purples and blues, and shapes are moving within that you can hardly see. The crew mentioned, they pull out a map and mention how they've been searching these areas for a little while now. This is an area they haven't searched yet. So they're hoping to find something here. Yeah, that doesn't being held right either. None of these are being held right. They're held right for PC users, not for VR users.
That specific drum beat that liquefies the enemies, is that is that my family's
It's
drum
different.
beat, or is it a drum beat that I specifically know?
It's a different drum beat, the one that particularly
I can imitate it.
You could try. You're not much of a bard, but you could try.
Don't we have a bard on the ship?
Nope. You have a monk, a rogue, a fighter, a wizard, a sorcerer, and an artificer. And to be fair, this crew's been at it for a while. If they could just replicate it, they probably would have.
That's a good point.
Yeah. The crew needs to make a... Whoa, hold on.
Whoa, that threw
We're gonna
pretty
have
well.
a party?
Apparently, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not fighting much. A few of them apparently are a bit, having a bit of fun with the, dwarven ale. And you're actually noticing a few of these people were members of, your husband's ship.
Do they know anything about his vanishing?
Do you ask them?
Like, do they know anything? Yes.
A few of them were... One of them, let's call him Gerald. Yeah, that's a good name, Gerald. That's a good dwarven name. Halfway into his tinkort, he becomes a little bit more willing to talk about things. I gotta try to do an accent, hold on. Around a group of people gripped by his story that feels like it's been told time and time again. Gerald sort of starts off as, there I was, the inky black of well, nothing but a half-wrecked ship floating in the abyss. Goes on to talk about some sort of battle in space, describing ships that remarkably look a lot like the ships you fought back at the Star Station, so probably the Tih'tulkd, and describes an event where he was very likely going to die. But then a great folding in space dragged him away. And then he discussed being on a planet that was completely covered in white fluff, almost like, you know, dandelions when they're in that state in which they're ready to make more dandelions. Pollinate is a word. Is this white and fluffy? He's describing the thing like that, being in sort of a haze. Couldn't stop sneezing for some reason. And then one day he just woke up on a space station. Didn't know what that was about. Came out of a pod not quite knowing who he was.
Like, what happened to Withering?
Oh.
Do you remember dandelions?
I don't remember much, you know, it's been a while.
Make a wisdom check.
Wait, does Gerald remember Withering?
Nope, he doesn't remember any people.
Yeah, he probably got no memory. Here, let me toss this. Wisdom. Check. Oh, it's an 18.
That's an 18.
Baller.
Fluffiness, white fluffiness does bring to mind something. Plus, in a
Do we
different.
have any dandelions?
It's in a different light, though. You don't remember. It's starting to filter in. You don't have the same memory as him. What you remember is something digging deep within you, pulling you apart, rearranging the very foundations of you. Then you remember being thrown in darkness, then being consumed by this white, cottony cloud, and a voice whispering in your head.
Sorry.
It might have been the drugs.
It might have been the drugs.
It's always the drugs.
Anyways, what you want?
On that note, this is the devil. Be gone, devil dice.
What? Why
I
did?
saved us. I protected us all.
Why did? Okay.
Those things are weapons.
Oh yeah, I did.
There were literal swords and guns lying around all of us. You're worried about dice?
Yes?
Anyways. The crew's so not paying attention that the blaring red lights and sirens catch everyone off guard.
That is not good.
Do they scare us out of our seats? Oh.
A few of them, yeah. A message keeps repeating, red alert, red alert.
Put on a fake mustache.
I put on a fake mustache.
You put on a fake mustache.
Fake mustache.
We should all put on fake mustaches.
Yeah, we should all put on fake mustaches.
You all put on fake mustaches. Make a charisma check. Make a charisma check.
Nobody's gonna question.
Someone make a charisma check.
Wait, who has higher charisma?
Quick draw, gamer. I should not do
Can I
it.
assist? Can I assist to give advantage?
Sure.
Can I assist to give advantage?
Sure. Roll again.
You get to roll again.
Today, VR chat's like super laggy. I don't know why. Okay. Plus your...
No, 16.
Plus your 4 in charisma, or 5 in charisma. And you probably have...
That'd be 21.
Let's say 5.
Yeah, this is
Ooh, get
around
that.
23 to 22, adding a proficiency modifier. Okay. Everyone in the canteen put on mustaches. Or missile. Missile, yes.
Everybody's got a different fake mustache. Like
Yes.
some of them are like fancy and curly. Some of them are.
And they
more
are
straight.
very
Mine-
serious about this. They're like,
Yeah, we
we
did find
will
out
put on
here.
these mustaches. We will keep them on.
I'm gonna wear a fancy kind of curly one.
It is a wild scene. Like 20 or 30 hardened dwarfs and battle-ready warriors with racing to their systems with tiny little fake mustaches. Some of them are tiny fake mustaches. Some of them are big face mustaches. The ones that really catch you off guard is the people with mustaches and tiny mustaches on those mustaches. All very serious about this
Genius.
somehow. But yeah.
We're gonna be on Vogue by the end of this. You watch, we're fabulous.
We have extra just in case they want to share.
You definitely have extra. I can give you extra.
Whoop.
It is just thought
Alright, I'm
in
putting one on the bear.
the bear. Guess one. Red votes.
With a tiny little beard. I want a little tiny square beard.
The red alert is repeating over and over again. It's a red alert. Enemy craft engaging. And after that repeats a few times, people start running into things. You hear a lot of bangs. Bangs. And the entire ship starts shaking like something is hitting it. And you start to panic a little.
Okay, so we need to try to get away. Is there anything I can do to
Do we
help?
have to try to get away? Can't we just shoot them?
You could probably shoot at them, yeah. To do that, you need to get a battle station. You make your way to a battle station?
To battle station!
To battle stations!
I'm gonna shoot them with magic missile.
Okay, so you, I guess you tried to find a sort of a, what did I call it? Mage amplifier? Let's call it a mage amplifier. You find your way to one, there's one available. Not many people here are magic users. You take a hold of it, aim at the ship, find that it's not a ship. Well, there are ships attached to it, It is wild. You see it's painted with black inks dripping out of every crevice and crack, and it's
fascinating. I'm gonna shoot it.
okay. You shoot at it. You do 3d4 damage. Roll your 3d4. You have to spawn.
Oh, we don't have any D4.
Yeah.
D4,
Somebody threw it away.
An unfortunate mishap.
Is this ship attacking us? You said this ship is attacking us, right?
It's not a ship. It is a mobilized.
Oh, there's two of them down here. What's going on?
It's a mobilized star system. It's a mobilized, not star system. It's a mobilized star station. It is bigger by ships by magnitudes. No, it is not police.
Alright. How many of these am I throwing?
Oh, it's the melty guys. It's the melty guys, right?
Probably.
Oh yeah, definitely the melty guys. I'm a magic missile in the face.
4.
Nice.
2.
2.
So it's a total of 6. And one more. 7.
Balls.
Okay, so you do 0 points of damage. As you discover, you need to do a certain amount of damage to get past their shields. And this thing looks heavily shielded. Like I mentioned, it is a mobilized star system. It is, imagine a really big shopping mall stacked on a really big shopping mall, stacked on a few more really big shopping malls, with a few shopping malls sort of surrounding it. It also has no less than 10 warships attached to it, docked, and those ships are powering engines. Sorry?
Are they trying to communicate with us at all? Or are they saying...
Absolutely
hey,
not.
Or, hey...
Absolutely not.
What are they doing?
They're arming weapons and firing.
But they haven't managed to hit us?
They've hit you a few times, actually. That's what the heavy thuds were about.
That's rude.
That is very rude.
But they haven't done
So
damage.
if we run away, can we like put down some like space
Space mines?
to like cover our trail, or
You could definitely try. What, space mines? You mine space?
smoke? We got a rogue, or
You definitely got a rogue. Who's on engineering? Are either of you on engineering?
They got a smoke screen or something, or no? I'm in the battle station.
Yep. Well, you guys did have like a
He's not here, man.
You
Okay,
probably
I'll go on engineering.
You can mainly see engineering.
Go help with engineering.
Your solar capacitors are taking a lot of damage, but not damage. It's like they're being interfered with, like almost paralyzed, which is bad because without your solar capacitors, you don't have power for high-powered things like guns
Is there anything
or
I can
engines.
do to help with that? Is there anything I can do to help with that?
Make a repair tech, intelligence check.
Sorry, I'm trying to get at the right angle to grab this dice.
17. Okay.
17.
Plus your intelligence, which is a 4, plus your proficiency. That's pretty high. So you look at this and you kind of recognize what exactly what's going on.
I'm just putting it back on the table.
Okay. Kind of recognize what's going on. There's some sort of electrical pulse going through the system. You knowing your engineering and your electronics and this setup in particular, because it is a setup you're familiar with, somehow, it's a dwarven electrical system, what do you know? A lot, apparently. You're able to reroute certain circuits to make that pulsing bypass the your basically giant batteries, and it works. You start getting electrical things back up. Your engines are back up. Half of the weapons that went down are back up, and someone on scanners says something very terrifying. They've surrounded us.
Is this a good time for negotiations? We could get
I don't think they communicate. I think what we're going to need to do
Yeah,
is
but we
make
got
a
a-
bomb. We're going to need a bomb.
Someone brings up, yes, but we don't want to die, so maybe a bomb that just affects them?
Yeah, that's true.
Sound
All right.
bomb.
Okay, I'm a battle master for making weaponry.
Mhm.
Do I know of anything that I could make that would get rid of them? Can I do an intelligence check on that?
Yeah, make your intelligence check. And,
Sorry, after I hop on the table a couple times.
Mhm.
Where did it go?
it's in the shadows. It's right here.
Hold on. Ugh. Okay.
That's a 2. But you are getting help from all of the engineers that are now scrambling to figure out what to do, so roll again.
Even in this game, I can't pick things up off the floor.
Hold on. Good.
I got it.
That's a natural 20. Okay, so at first thought, it's a problem. You feel quite panicked. You're being attacked by a very big army. You don't know what to do. So you take a few seconds, stun, then she says something. A sound bomb. But you know very in particular that it's not any sound that would do, but a specific collection of tones and notes. One that's very hard to capture that you don't have in mind. At hand, you need some way to get that information. Perhaps if there was a way someone would send it to you in a nice little package.
Okay.
Like, say, embed it into...
How do I get that?
Like, say somebody were to try to... Say there's a secret organization that hates a certain types of people, and we're trying to smuggle information out of a certain place. But couldn't get any flash drive or data to go out of there.
Check their butts.
Kind of close?
So, are you saying they smothered it in withering?
I'm saying Withering
I got to check my butt.
remembers being pulled apart and rearranged from the inside, and is wanted dead for some reason.
Okay, so, can I see if there's anybody who might know how they would have smuggled...
With that
something
natural
inside of
20?
withering? That would be the sound?
With that natural 20, all these thoughts are rushing through your head. This is a ridiculous theory, but you're in the middle of battle that you're going to lose. Anything would help. You
Okay,
vaguely...
I'm gonna be, like, sharing my thoughts with the people.
You vaguely remember...
I'm thinking about this.
You vaguely remember programmings being stored in DNA several decades ago.
Ooh, am I gonna get vivisected?
So we need Withering's DNA.
So do you want me to like spit or?
That depends on how would you like to give your
Would it have
DNA?
to be, like, hair or blood?
Well, last person to take your blood did have a bit of a panic attack. Maybe that's the best way.
We need some of your blood.
I'll give her some of my blood. I'll cut a finger off or something.
You cut your finger, hold it out. A medical personnel comes up with a syringe and just looks at both of you weird. Okay, I guess, and takes the blood with an actual syringe. Half the people around you are very weirded out by this discussion.
She didn't cut her finger off.
Roll dice. Withering, roll dice. Oh, don't roll me a d20. Roll me a d20.
I'm gonna roll this d4.
Alright.
Where's the d20? Where is it?
It's right here. It's by the gun.
Okay, so you managed not to cut your finger off.
14.
You do take a point of damage.
Nice.
Now it's time for somebody medical. That's a natural 20. Okay, medical personnel actually takes the DNA quite quickly and processes it. And there is abnormalities in her DNA.
Can we get the sound so I can make these sound bombs?
Again, the people look at you a little weird because they don't quite understand what you're about, because most of this has been in your head. And if you were to vocalize this,
all of it out loud.
they think you're even weirder. Make a charisma check.
To be honest, I'm over 100-year-old dwarf. Of course I'm weird.
Okay.
15.
Alright, your charisma isn't great, but you make pretty good dwarven ale, so your crew's with you. Solden's still...
Do I have the support of the cat lady with a very high charisma?
You do. And she could smooth some things over for you. You don't need their approval to continue doing what you're doing. You could just be weird.
I'm just gonna do it then. I'm
Yeah.
gonna see about making these sound bombs. Do I need to do tinkering?
So, the DNA embedded has junk DNA, which is a little weird. Most DNA is actually accounted for, except for in very specific cases, like this one, for instance. And it's like there's a pattern to it. And you read this pattern, and there's definitely a beat here. Several loud thuds can be heard, and things begin breaking apart. You hear the hissing of air, and a section of the ship completely depressurize. And you're still doing this weird thing that you're doing.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
time
work.
for a
I need to make these
bomb.
sound
Let's
bombs.
work on these notes. Ready?
Let's make this sound bomb. Okay, do I need to do a tinkering check?
Sure, you do that. 19.
19.
I am testing these dice later. You don't need to make sound bombs. You can throw this over communications.
For bombs.
Woo! We'll do it over communications. We're gonna communicate with them and we're gonna blast them apart.
Okay. You do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
With rather ease, you do this, actually. You notice that this entire thing, it's been scary because you're being shot at. But it's like a puzzle you're easily solving in the middle of a firefight. You put in the sound file, you send it throughout the communication systems. And it plays. You don't know quite what's going on, but the ships slowly stop shooting at you. Start drifting.
Nice.
Something
They're
you,
drifting away.
just in general, just start drifting. Like, all helm control was lost, and now they're off. You look down at communications, and you realize a mistake you may have made, or may not necessarily be a mistake. You put it through general communications, section-wide, which is all the star systems in this section.
Is that a bad thing, or?
It means all these guys are
Everything
dead.
lost, right?
It means all these guys are dead for several hundred star light years.
Okay,
Did I
well,
actually
you
murder
know.
my own
You-
husband?
You think?
Uh-oh.
You don't know. You don't know.
Should we go and, like, dig through the goo?
Or did we just kill a bunch of the enemy?
You don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Kill a bunch of the enemy.
But another
How do
dwarven
we not know
beats.
you're the DM?
Another dwarven drum beat comes in. Sort of familiar, sort of not familiar. And another one of these huge mobile star stations starts floating out of a giant gravitational wave. That necklace around your neck
Is this...
begins to glow. This one isn't painted in the same way the other
Good ship.
ones. It's not painted in the same way as the
dwarf
other one.
that melts people. No, it's the dwarf that melts the bad guys.
Like 4 people fire in the direction of the ship. They all miss though,
Wait.
because your aiming system's
This
down.
might actually be... Right. This might actually be the dwarf that's going around melting people. Like, the good one. The one that's melting the enemy. Remember the one we're looking for?
What are you doing?
I thought we were looking for your husband.
Yes, I think this is my husband.
Your husband melts
He's been going
people.
around... Well, I mean, if you could melt people, wouldn't you?
Blink if you're okay.
I don't know if I can blink.
Oh crap, yeah.
I'm gonna have to end the stream now. You can wink. Haha. Oh, there you go. You blink.
There we go. She did it. She's safe. All right.
Oh no, I'm
So
gonna
no
sneeze.
open fire. Can't you go? Well, it could be like kisses.
I sneeze. Oh.
Samuel.
Okay,
Oof.
can we communicate with the ship?
Sure.
Or
Open
do
lines
I
of communications.
subship to find out who it is?
You exchange your ship's identification numbers and all of information like that. I don't know what it is, but you guys probably don't either, so you know. What? And then
We'll make up a number.
it's dead silent for several minutes.
Yeah, my daisies.
And then a familiar face comes on the visual screens. And okay, it's your husband. He's here. You stop
Why
that.
didn't he look for me?
Oh
was trying to
yeah,
think of the-
you gotta put him through the
Nice.
ringer.
Okay, so a familiar face does come on the screen. It looks a lot like
I'll be
the
on
man
the
you once
screen, too.
loved. Okay.
I thought I still loved him.
Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm joking.
okay. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna make it where he can see me with the webcam.
Okay, with the webcam, yes. Skyping your the individuals. It appears to be him.
Future.
It's close enough. It appears to be him. And
I'm
even
Can I ask him a question that only he would know the answer to?
sure.
what was the name of our pet dog?
I don't know, Fabio?
Sure.
He
It was a
just
trick
looks like he
question.
goes...
We've never had a dog.
Close enough. Hey, how you doing? You guys gonna get romantic over the website?
Ah! Yes, totally romantic. Yeah. He looks at you with he looks at you with loving eyes and says, "It's been so long, sweetie. I've missed you." Did you want to make an insight check?
Go get you some.
Sure.
It could be him. Could be some weirdo though. You don't quite know.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm willing to accept a weirdo.
Yep. You invite to the ship. You invite to the station.
I've been there after a divorce.
Yeah. The station you are invited to, and it immediately gives you a vibe of very dwarven feel, but something different. Something changed about certain aspects you knew about this male dwarf. Do you?
I mean, he's probably been like tortured and.
Maybe.
Should I do an insight check?
You already did an insight check. You got a 5.
Well, I can't do. I can't like study a person again.
Sure.
11.
Okay. One of the biggest things you notice, I guess, because he no longer wears his earthy browns and leathers. He now has far more white furs and shiny platinum plate armor. The armor is adorned with a
Could I just like do...
paw with a mark, a insignia, sort of a paw print of some sort of cat.
I realized that I could just directly ask him, you know. I mean, I could just ask him what's going on with that and
he says
the last years.
Well, he takes it in a deep sigh and says it's best if you guys talk in person.
Okay, we'll do that.
So you accept the invite to go on his space station, which you see has a number of warships himself, some destroyer-class ships, some galactic-class ships. It's pretty well armed. It looks like this is a war station, something you go to places with and do war to. Maybe even destroy entire stars while you're at it.
War too. Sorry.
You know what? I'm pretty good with that. I like making weapons.
You board the station. Do you go alone?
I'll bring my bear and should I bring anyone or just go alone?
You can bring people. Fish Boy's happy to go. Salden isn't.
Him and Salden can stay.
Liz, what are you doing? Or Asphalt? What I name you?
I'll let her do your thing, man. Like, if this is all over, that means I can take off the robot suit and the mustache, right?
No, the government still wants you dead.
Tih'tulkd and go hotbox my...
I'm gonna take off the fake mustache. That reminds me, I'm just gonna take off the fake mustache, just, you know, because...
Yeah, oh my god. What if your husband's all like, oh, you look prettier than ever.
Oh man, I thought you looked pretty on screen. What happened to the mustache? No, I'm joking.
I got extra fake mustaches in my pocket just in case that comes up. I'm gonna take the fake mustache off the bear, too.
Oh, but that's such a good... Oh no, kitty cat. So, it's a lot of talking. First things first, your husband sees a fish boy and asks, why are you traveling with a member of the royal family of the Shinkai? And the fish boy's gone. The fish boy's gone.
The fish guy?
Yeah.
Bye, fish boy.
He doesn't.
He
Just left.
he's hiding. Yeah, he's hiding.
Because he's a prince.
So your husband sits down with you and tells you his story.
Known as Prince.
He sits down and talks with you. It's been a while. It feels like it's been a few years even. And you wonder why he never, ever looked for you.
Yes.
He begins the story much like the other dwarf on the ship does. Alone in space, thought he was going to die. The Tih'tulkd attacked swiftly. He, in fact, did die. Floating in the emptiness of space.
Oh, he got Gandalf syndrome.
The Tih'tulkd dragged off with his body. And from what he can kind of remember, he was soaked in a pit of blackness, half-rotted, mostly congealed blood. And several chants were done to an ancient entity of undead and blood. It took him a while, a very long time, and it seems that for the Tih'tulkd, the longer you steep in this thing, the more powerful you end up being. But it wasn't any sort of innate power that was causing this. It was the dwarven's will and stubbornness. Not for a second did he want to break. Not for a second did he want to go against his values. Until one day, all that collapsed. And he was turned into one of them. Ink dripping down the face, ready to kill. Until he wasn't. Because where the dwarven will and stubbornness may be strong and resilient, it is also reoccurring. It wasn't too long before he felt what he was. But once inside, it is very difficult to remove. Some sort of desperation and calling for redemption for what he did under the name of this entity, something answered. Something of white fur and ears.
Giant cat.
Yeah. Refer to itself as Master Mao.
Aww.
And offered redemption, justice, and hope. So, in the desperate event he was in, he accepted, ending all other Tih'tulkd on his ship, and taking it for his own. Ever since then, he has won battle after battle, with entities now melting at his feet at the very sight of him, all as the paladin of Master Mao. He's been taking in refugees from planets destroyed and ruined and ships left to drift, and he now has entire city of people willing to fight and kill to end the scourge in space. But that's all over now, because the signal he found in space, which reached all across the skies and somehow took out every single Tih'tulkd there is,
Was that our doing?
was yours. Yeah, you were the original point. That is what he came here for. Only only fortune gave him you back. And he couldn't exactly look for you with the entire existence of some ancient undead god chasing after him. You start to remember things. The more and more he talks, and the more and more you're in his presence. Kind of? You were an active part of the Onyx Hand, as you were informed. Your code name was code name Granite. Gosh darn it. Basalt.
Basalt?
Basalt, yes.
Basalt.
Basalt. You were very actively against the government and very aware that they were plotting against some entity. Not everyone in the government, just a few key members, but the type of key members which pretty much are the government. You discovered several things. The names of the people who were allowing some entity to eat and take over societal members, regular citizens, where those entities were, and exactly how to get rid of them. It was at the work of the Onyx Hand where they discovered the resonance frequencies that these entities are somehow just completely susceptible to. They melt from the inside out, become slush to this one resonant frequency. There's a selection of resonant frequencies, but just this one will work for every single one of them. They needed to keep this information around, so what they did was embed it into several agents' DNA. You were one of those agents. And then the entities that were corrupt found out. You killed nearly every single one of them, except for you, who just barely managed to get away. It was like something grabbed you from space and yoinked you away, like a folding of space consumed you. All of a sudden you were in a different place. I don't remember much about that place, aside from fluffy whiteness. And then you woke up in a pod, with people debating whether or not they get to own you.
I got kids at the door. 1 sec.
As it turns out, Fishboy did lose his family. The members of the royal family, and found himself in such a mental state that he felt like he wasn't a responsible member of his society, who opposed rage and anger so much that they literally fought a war over it. So he ran away, as not to be an embarrassment to his people. And that's about it.
I mean,
That's-
I'm not gonna make him go away if he doesn't want to. I'm not gonna do that. As long as he wants to stay and help, I'm fine with him being there.
He'd be happy to stay and help. There is, however, a 3 million reward for any information about him and his location.
But like, are we like traveling with my husband now? And
If you want to, I guess
if
so.
I have to run it by him. I'd be happy to.
He wouldn't
Is
mind.
he okay with Fishboy being there?
It's not like he is, you know, a big fan of the government. He wouldn't mind. He wouldn't mind taking Fishboy.
I let Fishboy know that.
Hmm.
I mean, I use his name respectfully. I'm not going to be.
Of course. After several years together, you and your husband are reunited, and once again with each other. No need for a job anymore now that you've got nearly an entire ship, not ship, like a really big city you just own, playing around together. Eventually,
I know, but I still want to get better at making weapons and stuff like that. I want to get more into my tinkering, of course.
you definitely can do that. You definitely can do that. You could definitely work on your tinkering and become the greatest artificer there ever was. Fishboy eventually.
That's my goal, and I'm going to do that.
Fishboy eventually learns to cope with his pain of loss, and eventually goes back to being a part of the royal family for his people. Successfully
Maybe still
alive.
keep in touch. Is he still friend?
He would definitely keep in touch with you. Turns out that he has captained many ships in the past and would outclass either of you or the both of you put together as a captain.
Makes sense.
And also, he can snatch magic missiles out of the air. Never ever got to use that, but that's okay. Solden and Ingundent are found attempting to communicate with pirates and are murdered in attempt to apprehend said pirates. Turns out they have a long history of murdering captains and stealing things. And
So we get rid of them. So
yeah, they're dead. They're dead. They're dead.
I don't miss them that much. It's fine.
For the longest time, Withering was going to be the person they were going to kill. But things just happened, and you more secured the airlocks.
I mean, they kill captain, but they only wanted to kill one of the captains.
Well, I mean, you had really good respect with the people. You kept making them beer. Liz here talked about not wanting to feed them before. Yeah. Mercus.
Sorry.
Mercus is quite happy with you guys and is a bit of a party animal. Definitely has a room dedicated for different types of fun things.
Tell her about Sodden and Incarnate.
Oh yeah, they're dead. They died.
What? How did that happen?
They were attempting to communicate with pirates after we're going post campaign now. We're talking several years. They were attempting to communicate with pirates and get them to attack. It turns out that they have a long history of killing captains they don't like.
They're planning on killing us all.
No, not us. Just one of you.
Oh, just you.
Me. It was probably me.
Yeah, apparently talking about not wanting to feed the crew gets a few members of the crew upset. Yeah. Yep. So that's actually the end of this story. I do wish I had more for you guys, but things are as they are. Thank you for everyone who joined us. I appreciate it so much. I will leave you all now. So goodbye. Wait, is there